Dolphins are down some players. We talked about Bradley Chubb. He's done. Torn ACL confirmed on Monday. Xavier Howard, star cornerback, week to week with a foot injury. Tua Tagovailoa, shoulder injury late in the game, left and didn't return.
Buffalo Bills have a lot of new dynamics going against the Miami Dolphins in Week 18. With the Bills getting healthier and healthier, with Micah Hyde reappearing last week, as well as AJ Epinesa and Daquan Jones, the Miami Dolphins are getting more and more hurt. Jalen Waddle is questionable for this game. He didn't play last week against the Ravens. Raheem Mostert also missed time dealing with an injury. Robert Hunt, the other tackle, is going to be out. They added Jerome Baker, who played against the Buffalo Bills in Week 4 on IR. Tua's throwing arm, his shoulder is banged up, and we all know that that could very well hinder practice reps this week preparing for the Buffalo Bills. Xavier Howard is week to week right now with a foot injury and is doubtful to play against the Bills. Now, they didn't have Jalen Ramsey in that first matchup. Bradley Chubb was there playing against the Bills, and we all know he tore his ACL. He is going to be out. Their guard, Connor Williams, is on injured reserve. Jalen Phillips, as well as Isaiah Wynn, are all out. Week 4, the Buffalo Bills defeated the Miami Dolphins 48-20, but we have to take a look at the players that they had at that time compared to the players that the Buffalo Bills have now, compare apples to apples, and really keen in on these differences. And one of the injuries that were sustained during that game for the Miami Dolphins was Terron Armstead, a Hall of Fame left tackle, ended up leaving the game because of a hurt knee. Now, Jalen Phillips was also out during this Week 4 matchup against the Bills, and we all know he tore his Achilles a couple weeks ago and will not be playing this week against Buffalo. Now, another injury that was sustained during the game for the Buffalo Bills is Christian Benford, who, may I add, has been on complete fire and destruction under Sean McDermott here, with forced fumbles, with interceptions, stripping the ball out, just doing some amazing things for Bills Mafia. And we could see he was hurt in the second quarter of this Miami Dolphins game and only returned on a special teams basis. Also, the Buffalo Bills were without Jordan Poyer. Jordan Poyer was out because of a knee injury, and we all know that he's going to be ready to go this week. The Bills were winning 41-20 in the third quarter when Trey White went down, popping his own Achilles tendon and being done for the year. And before we take a look at the stats, we need to understand that the Buffalo Bills really has supplemented the loss of Trey White with Rasul Douglas coming off a career day, probably going to win Defensive Player of the Week. Tyrell Dodson getting the experience on this Buffalo Bills defense, who Eric Washington said a couple weeks ago is playing lights out against the run.
Dodson, another 8-tackle game for him last night. Where has he made his biggest strides?
The gap control, the run fit part of his game, his run fit clarity, the speed in which he's able to diagnose the run game has been phenomenal. And he's a physical presence once he establishes himself at the point of attack, and also the communication.
His run fits, his understanding of Sean McDermott's defense, his ability to stop the run and diagnose the run has definitely taken a step up in 2023. Taking a look at what was successful for the Miami Dolphins in that Week 4 matchup against the Buffalo Bills, it was clearly not Tua. Tua was sacked 4 times. He threw an interception, and you take a look at Tyreek Hill's stats during that game, only 3 receptions for 58 yards, as well as Jalen Waddle, who had 4 receptions for 46 yards. Devon Achane was the leading rusher for the Miami Dolphins with 8 carries, 101 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. And this is slightly worrisome because we still had Matt Milano, we still had Daquan Jones, we did not go to that London turf yet. The Buffalo Bills were doing halfway decent against the run, but as this season has progressed, we've definitely shored up our run fits, and we've kind of adjusted to a life without Daquan Jones. We have some additional players here with the Buffalo Bills, not only Rasul Douglas, but Linval Joseph is here. We all know that Ken Dorsey was the Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator, and we've moved on to Joe Brady, who has been balling out for Bills Mafia. You can even take a look at the other players on this team, like James Cook having 12 carries for 29 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. We all know James Cook and this Buffalo Bills offensive line is continuing to blossom. Spencer Brown, Deion Dawkins, Connor McGovern, Mitch Morris, and Osiris Torrance, who is also a rookie. He's a much better player now than what he was at the beginning of the season, as well as rookie Dalton Kincaid. I mean, we're talking about week 4 in the season compared to week 18. Dalton Kincaid had 4 receptions for 27 yards. We all know that Dalton Kincaid has clearly progressed into the player that we all expected when we drafted him. When you look at the Miami Dolphins roster and the players that they have, they're all pretty much veterans, and you somewhat know what they're going to get. Now, I'm not saying that they haven't progressed and they're not playing better than what they were at the beginning of the season, but the facts are the Bills were really relying on a lot of rookies for this Buffalo Bills team week 4 against the Miami Dolphins, specifically Osiris Torrance and Dalton Kincaid. Latavius Murray was brand new to the Buffalo Bills this season, as well as Trent Sherfield and Deontay Hardy. Khalil Shakir is also starting to blossom in year 2 for the Buffalo Bills. He is clearly developing and is a much improved player than the beginning of the season. Defensively, Taylor Rapp was brand new to the Buffalo Bills defense, and we've seen what Sean McDermott has done throughout this year, calling this big nickel, also calling dime packages here with Taylor Rapp, also Cam Lewis getting involved. The Buffalo Bills have continued to evolve and has clearly improved from the beginning of the season. That's always been the theme under Sean McDermott. We always continuously improve. We're always a much better team at the end of the season. Now, an addition that the Miami Dolphins have is Melvin Ingram. So yes, Bradley Chubb is out, but they activated Melvin Ingram last week off the practice squad against the Ravens, and we could see that he's likely going to be getting a lot of playing time in place of Bradley Chubb. I know Josh Allen's opposite throwing arm, shoulder, or neck is a little bit sore, but Sean McDermott specifically said in his press conference that Josh Allen is not going to miss any practice reps because of it. Now, we are without Damian Harris, who played against Miami Dolphins in week 4, but Ty Johnson has risen to the occasion here, as well as Leonard Fournette also kind of contributing, but Ty Johnson has really balled out. Another additional piece that the Buffalo Bills didn't have in that week 4 matchup was Von Miller. Now, Von Miller being inactive last week, a big-time question mark arising from Bills Mafia as to why we decided to start Kingsley Jonathan instead of Von Miller, and it could very well just be a healthy rest to try to bring some benefits to Von Miller to get ready to go for a Week 18 matchup and potential long run through the playoffs. And the other thought I had with the New England Patriots is maybe we thought that they were going to be trying to run the ball a little bit more against the Bills because of the injuries that they had at wide receiver. And I believe the Buffalo Bills thought maybe having some bigger guys in the game against the run, hearing even Von Miller state that he's not even 100% healthy yet. Maybe Bill Belichick was scheming things up to attack Von Miller, running the ball straight at Von Miller, not utilizing his speed. And this week, we all know the Miami Dolphins offense has a ton of speed. So having a Von Miller, having a Kingsley Jonathan out there makes a lot of sense going against a much speedier type offense. I think these are massive differences for the Buffalo Bills here in this Week 18 matchup versus Week 4. The progression of Sean McDermott's defense with Taylor Rapp and Cam Lewis mixing between big nickel and dime packages, plus Sean McDermott finally getting in the groove of calling plays and being a head coach. I think Sean McDermott has definitely shown a lot more aggression in his play calling and blitzes and stunts, disguised coverages. You know, we showed well against Bailey Zappi. We showed well against Tua. There is a reoccurring theme with Sean McDermott going against rhythm and timed throwers. Tua clearly is a rhythm and timing thrower. He doesn't like extending the play. So when you time your pass rush with the coverage, when you have those working in unison, the synergy between both of those in this Sean McDermott defense is going to be a huge reason why the Buffalo Bills will prevail. And the young rookies offensively with Osiris Torrance and Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir being in only year 2, playing the Dolphins early in 2023, we all know that he has progressed. We all know that Connor McGovern, being brand new to the Buffalo Bills, is finally getting comfortable next to Deion Dawkins and Mitch Morris. Trent Sherfield, Latavius Murray finally getting a taste and full grasp of this Buffalo Bills playbook. Moving on from Ken Dorsey to Joe Brady, man, the differences are definitely piling up for Bills Mafia, and let me say, they are all great differences. But I appreciate you guys all so much. If you enjoyed this video, it would really support my efforts for making videos just like this if you hit liked, subscribed. Also, check the link in the description for the Buffalo Chicken Wing merch. We have long sleeve hoodies, black, gray, blue, red, sizes small through 5XL with free shipping. We actually have a Zoombaz fleece blanket and a Zoombaz doormat. Also, I'm working with Course Careers. They are helping everyone get 100% remote jobs, from tech sales to data analytics to UX design to coding, whatever you guys want. Just check the link in the description. You can sign up for a free course to see if you're going to like it. But I appreciate you guys all so much. The most important game for Bills Mafia is here. We have a lot of differences to squish the fish. Appreciate you, and go Bills.
Josh Allen's got some neck soreness, but they don't expect it to affect his preparation. Day to day, okay, maybe we'll see him week to week. We're not going to see him this week, and maybe we won't see him in the wild card round either. He's got a foot injury that he suffered in the first quarter of the blowout loss to the Ravens. Tua said Sunday he's sore, but he's good. Mike McDaniel said on Monday he's not worried about it, so that's good news for the Dolphins. And for the Bills, star cornerback week to week with a foot injury. Week to week is not good.